Welcome to Sweet Delights Cakery. Today in our tutorial we are going to teach you how to make these beautiful hydrangeas, and believe it or not, these are made out of wafer paper. So I'll be teaching you step by step how to make this beautiful flower. So enjoy our tutorial. So the tools that you're going to be needing to make these flowers with, you're going to need some wire, floral wire, and this is 22 gauge wire. You're going to need some floral tape. You're going to need wire cutters and a pair of round nose pliers. You're also going to need a pair of tweezers. You're going to need a pair of brushes. You're also going to need some vegetable shortening, some gum glue. And I have here some green petal dust that we'll be using. You're also going to need a small cup to kind of keep your gum paste in, so it's not going to dry out when we're working. And gum paste, you just need very little, small amount. And you're also going to need a paper punch that I actually got this from a local craft store, and this is actually the star of the show. So you're going to need one of these. And of course you're also going to need wafer paper, and I have actually printed this template out of my printer. You can probably try to maybe airbrush and get these colors as well, but if anybody wants this template, it's available in my website and I'll be glad to give this to you. So let's get started. So if you look through the hydrangea spray I have here, I have about 25 or even more flowers in here. Every time I try to count, I lost track. And I have some hydrangea buds that I have also added in between. So there's about 5 to 4 buds here and there. So I'm going to teach you how to make those as well. So we're going to start cutting our wire, and you know, the size and the amount of flowers that you're going to be using for each person, it'll be different as you go along. Sometimes you might need more and sometimes you might need less, so always make more, keep some extras because you might need more than you think. So let's begin and cut all the wire. So I'm going to just cut a little bit right here to show you. So this looks like it's about 6 inches long, and this is how I when I ordered it came in 6-inch lengths. So I'm going to cut this in half with my wire cutters, and I'm just going to do them one by one. It just seems to be more easier for me. And then you can finish cutting your wire as well while I do this. So what we're going to do is, for the buds, we're doing pairs of like threes. So you want to keep about 12 wires for that, and then another extra about 25 wires to make the flowers with. So here I have about 24 wires separately looped, as you can see, and about 12 over here that I haven't done anything with, and these are going to be for the buds of the hydrangeas, and these are going to be for the flowers. So what you do is you take your wire and you take your round nose pliers, and you want to make sure that you use the very end, the narrow end of the round nose pliers, so you'll get a smaller size loop. And you're just going to put it at the very end, and then you're just going to twist it like that. That way you get this small tiny loop. Let me do that one more time. Okay. So next we're going to take a gum paste and start making our centers. So you want to make sure that you wash your hands and your hands are really clean, because as you know, gum paste and fondant are big lint magnets. So you want to make sure that you're not going to be dealing with that lint. especially because we're working with white. So you want to condition your gum paste with a little bit of vegetable shortening. And then we're just going to take a little bit, meaning a very small amount of gum paste, and the remaining I'm going to keep it closed. And you're going to take the wire that we did not make a loop out of, so it's just the wire as it is, and you're going to dip this into some gum glue. And I'm just going to take the excess off. I don't want a lot on my wire. And then you're going to place this on to the wire, and then you're just going to shape it right at the end. Oops, let's try that one more time. Kind of pushing down. Okay. And then what you're going to do, I got too much shortening here, you want to hold it tight, and you're going to take your tweezers and you're going to make 4 markings. So you're going to basically do like a cross. So I'm going to push down on one end, and I kind of like to do the opposite end first and then do the cross ones. 1 and 2. And then you can again go back and just adjust it and reshape it. So that's how you make the gum paste bud. So to do the buds for the flowers, you want to kind of figure out what size that you want for the centers to be, because if you do it too big, it's not gonna look very nice on the flower. So what you want to do is you want to start off with taking a little piece of gum paste, and what I like to do is I kind of make it into a ball, and then I bring my cutter kind of, where the top design is, because that's going to be the size that you're going to anyways cut off. So you can just put that center and see how it looks. If it's looks good on size wise, then that would be the size that you're going to be following. So after that you can make a couple more rounds to match that size, and you want to work a little at a time because these gum paste circles will dry really fast. So I got 3 here, and I'll work with these 3 and kind of do 3 at a time. So again, you're going to take the wire. Now this time you're using the wire that has a little loop, because the reason I have the loop is when we place the petal on, I don't want the gum paste to come off. So this is gonna kind of keep the gum paste attached to the wire. And you're going to do the same thing, dip this into some gum glue, but not a lot, just very little. And then you're going to take one of your circles, and the remaining circles I would put them under your cup so it's not going to dry out. And then again you're going to place it just the way we did earlier onto the wire. Now this one is going to be a little tricky because the loop is a little bit bigger than just a regular flat wire that we were working with earlier, so you have to kind of manipulate the gum paste and try to taper it and make sure that everything gets kind of covered while you do this. And then also you want to kind of fix the top like that. And then what you're going to do again is you're going to do the 4 markings. And sometimes you might see the wire through, like right over here you can see a little glimpse of the wire, and you can always kind of push the gum paste up a little bit, and that should kind of take care of it. Okay, so you have to make 24 and even more depending on your design. So I'm gonna make the rest of the centers and hope you do the same. So here I have all the buds already made. I suggest that you let this dry overnight before you assemble the flowers. So let's start cutting the wafer paper. One little tool that I forgot to mention is you're going to need a pair of scissors as well. And I actually have this wafer paper on a plastic sleeve. So with the temperature, the humidity, in wherever the area that you live, this will kind of keep the wafer paper nicely without warping or anything like that happening to it. So I'm going to take this off and I'm going to start cutting strips first, because it's a little easier to work with then. And you can cut all your flowers all at once and then just keep it in the plastic sleeve. So I have a little variation with the flowers, and I have noticed looking at the real hydrangeas, they have a little bit of green hydrangea flowers in the sprays, as well as a little bit of pink. That just makes it more natural looking. Okay. So you're going to take your paper punch, and what I would do is I would turn this way so I can see what I'm cutting, because I have made the centers of these circles a little bit darker, because normally flowers you always have a darker center, and I want it to look more realistic. So you're just going to place this in and try to aim it so the darker part is right on the center, and just cut through like that. So let me do a couple more of the violet. And then let me show you how I do the pink. One more of the pink. And then we'll do the green. So there you go. So you want to cut all these circles, your flowers out, and then we'll start making the flowers. So I have already cut out my flowers and I'm ready to assemble them. I have my bud and I have some gum glue with a brush that I'm gonna apply right underneath this area, so I have something to kind of attach the wafer paper to. So you take a little bit and then just go around the base of the center, and then you're going to take your wafer paper and you're going to basically punch through the end of the wire and kind of thread it through. Okay, and that is all you're going to do at this point. So you want to repeat this step with all of your flowers. So again, I'm going to show you one more time. You're going to take a bud and you're going to place a little bit of gum glue on the base of the bud, and this time I'm going to use the green petal. I'm going to punch a hole through the center and then thread the petal through. Okay, and that glue should attach the wafer paper very nicely to the base. And just keep continuing making all your flowers, and then I'm gonna show you how to shape them. We're also gonna try to use a steamer to also shape the petals. So now I'm ready to dust all the little buds in green petal dust. I just have a piece of scrap wafer paper I'm just using to put my dust on. So you want to take a little bit, and then you want to use a brush. Brush it, it should be something that you are comfortable using, so any type would be fine. And then you're just going to color all around on the bud so we have it in a nice green shade. And I want to continue doing this to all of those buds. So now I'm ready to cup my petals, and the way I do it is, you can do it in two ways. You can just take your flower and then just bring the opposite petals kind of together like that, and that'll kind of cup the petal. You can also use a steamer. Now this kind of looks pretty good as it is. If you're using a steamer, you want to do this step again, and this one I'm going to keep it the way it is. It looks good. Don't need to do much with that. So again, you're going to cup by bringing the petals together like that, and you can use a steamer, and you want to kind of watch for the direction the steam is going, and then depending on how you're going to hold this, the petal is going to kind of shape to different angles. So kind of do like one petal at a time. See how it got kind of curled up, and just slightly let the other one curl up, and okay, get all the petals curled. And it's a really slight curl, so it's not too flat. So you want to do this to all of your flowers, and then we should be ready to put our flower spray together. So I'm ready to put my flowers together. What you're going to need is going to be your round nose pliers, your tweezers, your scissor, and some floral tape. And what I did was I went ahead and cut the tape in half, so when I'm wrapping it, it's not going to be so thick on the base of the spray. So I'm going to take, first of all the buds I made, and I'm going to make bunches out of it. And I'm thinking of doing 3 in one bunch, so kind of like a cluster, and I'm kind of bending my buds that way there's a little bit of direction going on, and depending on how you like them to be, and then you're just going to tape it. Now this tape activates when you pull on it, so what I do is I just let it kind of go like one round, and then I pull on my tape and then start twisting all the way through, which makes, you can always pull to take it off. So that would be one little cluster. And I like to have my green hydrangeas with the buds, so it kind of looks like, okay, these are like the flowers that just bloomed, and that's why it has that little green tone to it, and kind of makes sense. So I'm just gonna again bend a little bit on my flower, and then put one of them with it. Twist and turn. So that would be one section, and you want to do that to all of your buds. Again, want to bend them a little bit. then pull, and then go all the way down. And there we go. And then I'm going to take one of the green flowers again, bend it a little bit, and attach it. I think I'm just going to do 2 of these, and the remaining I'm just going to have the buds by itself, because I'm kind of thinking of having the greens in just 2 areas of the spray. So I want these to use in those areas. And then the other 3 I'm just going to do by itself. Okay, so those centers are done, and now I'm going to move on to starting the whole spray. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with one of the buds, and I'm going to place my violet color flowers. So I'm going to take about 3 of them, and I'm going to slightly bend them, just a slight bend, and I'm using my round nose pliers to do that. And then keep them. I'm going to bring this up a little bit, and I'm going to do 1 round. Actually maybe a little bit more than 1, just to secure the tape, and then I'm going to place the other one next to it. And you can move them around, and what I would do is I would not use my hands, I would use a pair of tweezers or your round nose pliers to move them around, because the wafer paper is very delicate and you don't want it to break off. Okay, again I'm just going to space them apart like so. Okay, and then I'm ready to add some more flowers to this. So I'm going to take again some of my purples, start with 3, and you want to again bend them a little bit. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go a little bit lower and start wrapping, and then again take my round nose pliers and move this flower out of the way so it's not going to break. So I'm going a little bit lower on the main stem here when I'm wrapping, and I'm going to do the same thing. And if this bend is too much, you can just adjust it as you go. So there's really no rhyme or reason. Just keep attaching your flowers where you think, you know, kind of looks good. I have actually had, you know, times where I would just take them apart and refix them again, you know, just to make sure that everything kind of, you know, looks good. There we go. And I'm gonna take some of my greens now. So starting with this, I'm going to probably, let me see how it kind of looks. Then maybe do one more purple actually. Bent a little bit. Okay, I think I'm ready for the green. So this I'm going to bend a little bit again and place it. And I just went one turn, and I'm going to take probably one more green, bend it, and place that one as well. And I'm going to move this a little bit. That looks good. And I'm going to do probably another green. Going a little bit lower. Okay. So sometimes it's easier for me to just take the tape all the way around rather than turning the whole spray. So that side kind of looks good, and I'm happy with this, so I'm going to keep it like that. And I'm going to turn this way and fill this end, and I'm going to put more purple. So again, you want to bend. Okay, one. Let's do one more turn. Looks good. And I'm going to keep moving to this empty area here, and I think I want to put some pink on that side. So I'm going to take again some of my pink flowers. I'm going to pin them a little bit. Take 3 of them. Two, and then the third one. Now you can do this individually and then wrap them 3 times, and I'm gonna try to do this all at once. Like that. Okay. Hold all 3 stems and then again wrap around. Okay, and then you can use your round nose pliers and just move the flowers around whichever way you prefer them to be. And then I'm going to go to this side and then fill this open area, and I think I'm going to use my second leftover green that I made and put that down there. Again, bend it, and I have one more green that I want to use also. So those two looks good the way it is. Move it and find a good spot for it. I think that down here looks good. Hold it, like that, and then wrap it around. Okay, and then I'm going to kind of move them again. And that looks good. Turn around, and we got one more area to work. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the remaining, I have 2 pinks left and I have some purples, so get them all ready, bend them. You can do this by hand as well. Just be very careful because we don't want to break the flower. Okay, and I do have one more of the buds left, and I think I'm going to use it down here, so I'm going to bend that as well. Use some purple. And then wrap around. And if it's getting squished like this, you want to move it quickly before the wafer paper cracks. Okay, so you have to be really careful. And then I'm going to use some more purple down here to kind of finish, probably right over here. And now I'm going to fill this with my pinks. Okay, so now I kind of have all the way around covered. I'm going to look around, and I have 3 more purples left, and I think I'm going to use those as well. Mine as well, right? This is my last flower, so let me find a good spot for it. Sometimes you have to move the flowers around and then find a good place to put those final flowers. So that looks all good, so I'm just going to finish this tape all the way around, turning right on the base so I can have it all covered. And I think I'm going to use a little bit of the excess. And go around and just cover the base all the way around. So this spray is a little bit small in size than this one, as you can see, but they both look pretty no matter what size it is, and it'll look really nice on a wedding cake, I think on the top probably. So I hope you enjoy the tutorial, and stay tuned because there's going to be many more tutorials coming your way.